If you're a final expense insurance agent that's paying for your own leads, this video is going to help you understand the difference between CPL and CPA. It's something that actually will make a big difference in your career when you fully comprehend it. So two terms, CPL and CPA. We're going to dive into this with you. And before I do, my name is Jason. I'm your friend in the business, and I am so insanely blessed to recruit and partner and just work shoulder to shoulder with the most amazing brand new and veteran agents alike, selling life, Medicare, and annuities face-to-face, but more importantly, in the telespace. So free resources for your taking here at jasonfinalexpense.com. And thank you for partnering with us by subscribing and watching this content. I hope it's a help to you. So when you first start off, let's get right to it with your insurance career. The cost of your lead is probably what you're worried about. I run a national agency here, and I get this all the time. How much are the leads? How much are the leads? That is CPL. Cost per lead. And I get it. That's your focus when you're new. You got to know how much, okay, is it going to cost me to get a lead in my hand so that hopefully I can make a lot of money, right? Well, 90% of the agent force fails because sometimes they didn't take into account CPA. They were only focused on CPL. CPL is just cost per lead. So if you have a very low cost per lead, let's say it's a Google banner final expense lead, that lead is going to take you more leads to acquire the client. The CPL, the cost per lead, may be really low, but the CPA is going to be really high because it's going to take you a lot of those lower intent leads to equate to a closed deal. So you got to understand you're trying to acquire a client, not just put a lead in your hands. But when you're first starting off, I get it. You got to have as many leads as humanly possible because you need the law of large numbers on your sides. I get it. That's important. But a low intent lead is going to cost you a lot for the cost per acquisition. How many leads does it take to equate a sale? So you got to be looking at it kind of through these lenses of how many leads, what's the true cost of my acquisition here. When you're doing cost per lead, you could get a 300, all right, aged leads that are like 90 days or less old, under $2 a piece, very low cost per lead, but it's going to take you a lot of leads to get the conversion. All right. The true cost per acquisition is great, but the cost is really low. You just got to put a lot of time in, right? A lot of blood, sweat, and tears for you to be the beast. And when you're first starting off, you know what? Sometimes you need to lean into a bunch of aged leads because your cost per acquisition doesn't really cost you more than a lot of time. It's very inexpensive comparatively to buying a lead that's like, 12, 13 bucks a lead. Cost a lot more, but you don't need as many leads to get the same job done. So CPL, important. I get it. Your cost per lead of an aged lead, under $2 a piece. All right. Very inexpensive for a lead that's 90 days old or less. If you need those resources, jasonfinalexpense.com. If you need a good Google banner lead, maybe you're going to pay around $10. All right. If you need a good Facebook final expense lead, maybe you're going to pay around 13 to 15, depending on the lead company. All right. And you need good resources for leads for sure. But if you've got a higher intent lead, you're going to realize that it's not going to take as many leads. So the CPL, the cost per lead, doesn't matter so much when you're really diving into it, because if it takes you 15 leads to get a conversion or 20 leads to get a conversion, you got to know how much does it cost me to get my acquisition. So CPA is cost per acquisition. If you're an outbound final expense insurance agent, just getting it done, you may not have a problem just dropping money and getting good leads if you're getting people to truly pick up the phone, right? That's your big problem in telesales, is getting someone to pick up the phone. That's why we really train and teach on this, but it does just boil down to hammering the phones and helping great people. But an inbound lead is phenomenal. Your cost per acquisition, surprisingly great. Your cost is for the CPL is really high though. The cost per lead, you may be looking 50, 60, $70 for one inbound lead, but it's a guaranteed conversation that hopefully with good skill set, will set, and work set, you'll get a conversion on. So even though it may cost you $60, if you made $600, do you care? Probably not. Where if you're an outbound insurance agent, you may get a lead for maybe 12, 13, 14, $15, lower cost per lead, but you're going to need a lot of those leads to acquire the client, the cost per acquisition. So I hope this little rant and ramble helps you a little bit. Understand CPL is important. I get it. You don't have a lot of money in the pocketbook sometimes when you first start pursuing a career in final expense telesales, but cost per acquisition is really, really of the most importance. And I love outbound leads, very low cost. You can get a lot done with them and very high ROI. The return on your investment, there's there's another term for you, ROI, the return on your investment. If you're putting out $1,000 for leads and you can get $4,000 back in your pocket sold, that's a pretty darn good day. If you're a top producer, you drop a G and maybe you got 10 G's in sales at the end of your week. Maybe you're a 10X top tier final expense producer. That may be you, but you're the only one that can decide on this. Do you have maybe a lot of time and not a lot of dough? Maybe you should look at a aged lead, because that's a very good cost per acquisition, but you will be investing your time, your most precious resource. And if you're one that says, you know what, I got a lot of money, not a lot of time, maybe you want to look at a very good high intent exclusive final expense Facebook lead, or better yet, maybe an inbound lead. If you got lots of money but not a lot of time, you get guaranteed conversations, and hopefully that will help you with your conversions, because that's what it's all about. If you stick in the business, you got to keep this stream of leads just flowing in to your business so that you can be the best in the business, because an agent without leads is lost and scared, and it's no place to be. So if you need any good lead providers or a good work family, jasonfinalexpense.com. Hope these two things help you. You got CPL, cost per lead, CPA, cost per acquisition, and good old ROI, return on your investment, because you invested into your business. Not everybody makes it, but there is no better life than the independent agent life. Have a great day. Have an amazing day tomorrow. And remember, you've got what it takes. We'll see you soon, my friends. I appreciate you watching.